Our kids are starting school, but there's a big difference this year. A big change has happened.
So what do I do? It really started to just come up in my mind. My heart was just starting to question some of the things.
I don't wanna stay here, no. Ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. 'Cause I wanna drive through the summer night. And when
Well, today is an important morning because today our kids are starting school. This is Kenya's 11th grade year and Lincoln's 10th grade year. And today's the first day of community. Of course, we homeschool the kids, but they do go to a community, classical conversations community, one day a week. And although they started school actually like working on it last Tuesday in preparation for today, today's the first day of community. So of course we have to do all the pictures. I'm sitting here thinking about how there's only a few years left of these first day of school pictures, so I gotta stick with it and make sure that we're consistent all the way to the end. But excited to take those pictures of the kids and kind of compare over the years like we always do, right? But there's a big difference this year. A big change has happened to where school is not looking the same as it has the last several years. Jill is very involved in the kids' education, obviously as the lead learner at home, but she's also been very involved in classical conversations in leadership there, and she's always directed or tutored I think every year since we've started classical conversations, and that entails a lot of work for her because it's like being a teacher in a class. You have to prep for your class and build out a full day's worth of lessons and do lesson planning and all that. And so this year Jill decided to take the year off. A well-deserved break from all the years of directing, and she's directed both of the kids' classes. The last 2 years she directed Lincoln's class, and this year she decided to take a break. So it feels a lot different for her this year because of that, and actually it feels different for me too because she doesn't have to stress about on a Sunday night about what making sure she has everything pulled together for Monday. And it's just a whole different thing to just basically take your kids to community day and drop them off. So that's what we're about to experience today. They're actually going to a new community location just because things shifted around a little bit, but it's closer to our house, which is great. And so we're going to get some pictures taken and then get them off to class. I think this is going to be sad for Jill, actually, because she's not going in with them. And so we'll see how she handles it. But I think I might stick around with her and maybe take her to coffee and soften the blow a little bit because this is like separation anxiety, just leaving the kids there and not going in with them. So it's good for her though, and she needs the break, and it allows her to actually focus a lot more on the kids' school as opposed to the whole class. So she gets to really focus on like our kids and what they're working on, both of them. And so I think it's going to be a really good thing. All right, I just did some pictures. This is what they look like. But are you all ready for your junior year?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm at the last stretching 2 years of high school. So I'm nearing the end.
What about you, tall boy? Jeez, you're like 6'1" now.
I'm really excited for this year's community. I don't know what it's going to be like without Mom at campus because she's been my director for the last 2 years.
Big change this year, right?
No kidding.
Are you okay with that change, Mom not being on campus?
Yeah, it doesn't really seem that different for me because I've only had her as my director for 1 year. But
yeah, but she's always been there at the building.
Right. I've always seen her at lunch and stuff, so it'll be a little different.
All right, what are you looking forward to most, buddy? School being over?
No, I actually kind of enjoy school. I really do enjoy math.
He loves math. Isn't that wild? Not everybody loves math. especially this one.
Nope, I'm looking forward to April of next. No, I'm joking. I'm really looking forward to seeing my friends and having those discussions again for like debate and stuff. So.
Yeah, classical conversation really focuses on debate and discussions, and so that's what Kenya misses most because she loves having hearty discussions and debates,
Yes,
right?
I cherish those, especially when people disagree with me. It's
And
fun
she's got
to
a
try to
strong class of strong personalities, so it works
Very
out
strong,
well.
fun personalities.
Yep.
Yeah, and I can't wait for debate too. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
You like debate too, huh?
I'm on a team with 2 other boys, and it's me and 2 guys against 2 girls, which is gonna be interesting.
Oh, boys against girls, that should be
Yeah.
fun. They'll probably beat you. All right, good luck, kids. Have a great year.
First day of community, and I can't believe the summer is already done. And like Luke has already told you, this year brings a little bit of change for me. I'm not in the role that I usually am, so I feel a little bit off this morning as far as I won't be at community with the kids all day, which is totally fine. I'm okay with that. It's just a different role. I'm not in charge of being in class all day and leading the discussions for one of their levels. So I am a little bit at the point of trying to figure out, so what do I do for the rest of the day? Luke's gonna kind of help me. I think he said we're gonna go to coffee. There might be a friend coming with us to coffee as well. And I'm really excited because I'm gonna be able to go home and kind of pre-prep some things, whether it's meals or get some schoolwork ready for them to do the rest of the week at home. It's just a little bit of extra time that I haven't had for quite a while, and I'm really excited about it.
So one thing that I've been wanting to do for a while is, and we've been talking about this for quite a while now since we moved in, is move our hot tub. If you remember, and maybe you've seen in our videos, but our hot tub located right outside of our kitchen sliding glass door, and it was taking up some very precious, valuable deck real estate. And so there actually is a perfect place downstairs underneath the deck on the patio where the hot tub fits perfectly, and it's right outside the sliding glass door of the basement. So I called around to a couple places and found this place that said they would move our hot tub, and it was a pretty good rate. I figured it'd be a lot easier to have somebody else move it who knows what they're doing, and who, they weren't charging an exorbitant amount of money, and they had all the right equipment. That's the thing I was worried about, is like trying to figure out how to do it with just some friends. So if I can, I'll find the name of the place that we used, and I'll link them below, but they were really great, and I kind of captured a time-lapse video of the whole thing, so check this out.
It was so fun watching the kids get ready for their first day of community this morning. I can't believe that we're already starting another year. It's crazy how fast that time is just flying by. Kenya is in Challenge 3. That's just the level of the homeschool program that we use. It would be equivalent to 11th grade or junior year in high school. And Lincoln is going into Challenge 2, and that would be 10th grade or sophomore year equivalent of high school. As I was dropping them off this morning, it was so strange for me not to be going in the building. I've served for the past 5 years that we've been doing this program, and it was just different for me to be able to drop them off, and I will go pick them up later today. But I kind of wanted to fill you in a little bit for those of you that are new here to our channel and maybe don't fully know our story or our homeschooling story, I just wanted to do a quick vlog and update on that and give you some information, because I know there are a lot of questions about the different types of schooling nowadays. There are so many options, and when it comes to homeschooling, there are a lot of options as well. And when people choose to homeschool, it is not usually a decision that is taken lightly. So I just wanted to give you a brief rundown of how long we've homeschooled, what program we do, and some other resources that are out there. Our homeschooling journey started 8 years ago. I can't believe it's been 8 years. It's flown by. But up until that point, the kids had gone to a private Christian preschool, and then we transferred them over to a public school. So Kenya attended public school until she was in 3rd grade, and Lincoln was in 2nd grade. At the end of that 3rd grade year, I was one of the parents that was really involved. I would go in and volunteer in the classroom. I was actually PTA president at the public school that we were at. But throughout Kenya's 3rd grade year, it really started to just come up in my mind. My heart was just starting to question some of the things. And so I started to feel like I wanted to be more involved. I didn't feel like I was getting the full connection in Kenya or Lincoln's education at that point. And I was asking a lot of questions myself. It just started to lay heavy on my heart. What were they being taught? Were they fully understanding? And were they actually learning critical thinking skills? So at that point, I sat down with Luke. We kind of talked about it, and we knew it would be a big change. And I did not know if I was capable to be able to homeschool our kids. I did not think that I possibly knew enough or I could ever know enough to give them everything that they needed. And Luke and I started to research into homeschooling and the different options. When I started researching, I found out that there are a ton of different styles of homeschooling out there. The one that kept standing out to me the most was the classical style. So the type of homeschooling that we do is the classical model. Some of you might be sitting there saying, what in the world is that? And what the classical model mainly focuses on are the 3 different stages of learning, or we call it the trivium. So you've got a grammar stage, which is the early elementary stage. At this stage, the students are in what we call the parrot stage. They're very much about memorizing or learning the names of things and repeating things. And so that's why they call it the grammar stage. You then go into the dialectic stage. And at this point, they are starting to ask questions. They're not just repeating things anymore. It's more, well, why? And it even comes, and this is more into middle school years, so those teenage years where everybody is all of a sudden, they just are questioning everything. So that is the dialectic stage. And then after that point, up into the high school years, they move on into what's called the rhetoric stage. They now know how to ask great questions, how to gain information. But at that point, they are now learning how to present their case or present their thoughts in an eloquent, well put together plan, and how to be able to make a sound argument. So those are those final 4 years of high school where they really work on, I know how to get the information, I know how to ask good questions, I know how to look at both sides, but how can I communicate this in a way that is going to be understandable but also sound good? So with that and the more information that I gathered about the classical model, that's what I chose to do. It's served our family very well. But if you are thinking about homeschooling, please know that classical is not the only model that is out there. There are so many different styles, and I encourage you to look into each and every one. But I will also tell you, be careful. You can overwhelm yourself with too much information. And if you're like me, if I get way too much information, at a certain point, it starts to intimidate me. So if you are thinking about homeschool and you've got a few questions, know that there are a lot of different styles out there. Try not to make too broad of a choice because it can, at a point, become overwhelming. The other reason why we chose to homeschool is Luke and I began to realize that we are actually our child's best teacher. We both, as a couple, believe in this, and we truly believe that God has made us parents of these kids for a reason, and He's given us the ability to educate them and be able to teach them as well. So we felt going to a homeschool model would support those beliefs that we have and also support the parenting role that we've been given. So once Luke and I knew which model we wanted to use, there are a lot of programs out there. You don't have to be part of a program. You can just do it at home. But one thing that I have learned through the years, that homeschooling without a community around you or other parents that are going through the same thing can be really hard. It can be very isolating. And I think that it makes it even more difficult when you get caught up on things to not have a support system. You're more likely to give up more quickly. The program that we have chosen is a program that equips parents how to homeschool all the way through high school. I love this because they come along and they help equip the parent. They give us the tools to help us get these kids all the way through high school. They stand behind us and let us know that we are capable of doing this. I can leave the program that we've chosen to do. It'll be in the description below. I'll put a link up for the website that you can go to. And I'm gonna also leave a few other resources that you can look into about homeschooling in general. There's a couple of great Instagram pages that I'd like to recommend, but the best thing that I could come away and tell you is don't sell yourself short. If you have the time, Luke and I also know that we are very blessed to have me be able to stay home and homeschool the kids, and that it works. But I also want you to know, use your network around you. So if you have a grandparent, if you have an aunt that is willing to step in, if you are not able to stay home and homeschool your kids, look into those resources as well. The program that we're part of, I have talked to a lot of grandparents that are coming alongside the parents and helping homeschool these kids. And the biggest thing that Luke and I have chosen, the program that we have, is it once again goes back to engaging their minds, and it's teaching them how to think, not what to think. And I think that a lot of the education systems these days have lost that main focus. And I'll say it again, it's teaching my kids how to think, not what to think. And it has a lot of critical thinking. They go through a lot of logic courses, and it's really teaching them how to come to the table and have a conversation and be able to disagree, but hear the other side and make sure that the argument is actually valid. But that's the biggest thing, is pick a program, whether it's public school, private school, homeschool, that best fits your family. I know that there's been a lot of information just thrown at you. I just kind of wanted to let you know how we truly see it and how it's benefited our family. I'm excited to hear about the kids' first day today, and I'm so looking forward to the year ahead. Once again, guys, if you want some more information, I'll try and put some links down below that can push you towards the program that we do, or give you more information about all the other programs out there. But the biggest thing is, if you're questioning if you're actually capable of homeschooling your child, the answer is yes, it is. And my best suggestion to you is just try it and give yourself some grace. Learn alongside your child. Think of the moments that you are going to get with your child in these years that they get to be at home with you, learning alongside mom and dad, and being able to say, my mom taught me that, or my mom didn't know that, but she showed me how to find information that I need. So I just want to encourage you, as a possible homeschool parent, a possible homeschool grandparent, that it is definitely a great option and a great fit for families. And I hope this has just helped give you a little bit more information on your journey.